If you don't have Hulu, get it on DVD, Blu-ray. Please watch this movie. This is a female empowerment movie without it talking about being a female empowerment movie. This is how it's supposed to be. From the Powerpuff Girls to the Carmen Sandiegos to the Wonder Womans. This is how you do a female protagonist without specifically going off the rails and making them so much like a male character that they're a male fucking character, which defeats the purpose of them being a fucking female, or being so much of a female that they're fucking sexist and they don't like dudes. They didn't go that direction, and they didn't go the other direction. They made a princess movie centered around a female who has her own likes and dislikes, and I absolutely loved it. Forgive me if I sound just a little bit upset, but when it comes to movies like these, people always miss the mark about what movies like this are supposed to be. She is standing on her own 2 feet, and people are going to take that as something completely different. There are movies out there who use the whole "I hate men, men suck" aspect. They do that. I hate those fucking movies, because if you have to lean on hating men to make your character a character, that's not a character I can get behind. I don't want a sexist female in media. You can hate whoever you want to hate. I don't have to like it though. I don't have to, and I just won't. And then there's the other side where you make your character so like a man, or so masculine, or so less feminine because you want them to be on equal playing fields, that you forget the fact that they are a woman, and you need to put those into perspective. When she's fighting in this movie, she's not having man-like strength. She is actually using the weight of their enemies against them. She's using her femininity, her nimbleness, her agility against her enemies because she is a woman. That's what's empowering about it. That's the empowering part about it. And the fact that she is existing outside of cultural norms. She doesn't need a cultural norm to make her decisions. She made those decisions on her own because that's what makes her happy. Woo! Rant over. Welcome back to the Dual Score R&R, where we watch a movie, we react, and then we review. Today, we're going to be doing The Princess 2022. I remember watching this movie back when it first released earlier this year and had an entire blast looking at it, but we want to make sure, once again, that I wasn't wearing rose-tinted glasses. So let's get into this. So, first impressions, or I guess second impressions. The movie is starting off just a little slow for me. I remember watching this the very first time and feeling the same exact way, but I know that they're trying their best to introduce the world itself in a manner that is questionable. Like, it makes you ask questions. How did she get here? What are those memories about? Things like that. Like, I understand that, but I feel like since there hasn't been much dialogue, I'm not saying they needs to have it. Just a personal thing. I feel like this little moment here is a little slow because we're getting shots of, like, the room itself. We're getting shots of, the water. I feel like this could move just a little bit faster. Then again, this movie's total runtime along with credits is 1 hour and 33. So I don't want to say that this is extra padding, but this does feel just a little slow right now. So let's continue. Ooh, I like it.
So this is the princess, all pure for a wedding.
Oh. Okay. Just first off, I like this. Okay, the first thing she did, right, was headbutt the dude. And as he is, kind of reacting, and there's lasting effects to the impact. You can kind of see her kind of like get dazed a little bit too. Oh, the details. I love it. See, again, I know people love fight scenes. I like fight scenes just as much as the next person. But what I do like is that it's feeling the impact. It doesn't have to be realistic, but I like feeling the impact of fights. This right here, that headbutt had impact on both of them, and it's headbutts are some of my favorite ways to integrate into a fight. I love headbutts. So let's see where this goes.
You're gonna get married like it or not.
Oh!
Stop messing around.
Homeboy just watching his friend get his ass whooped. Okay, small little criticism. I don't know how close these guards are to each other, but I feel like you would be a little bit more affected by seeing a person that you at least know, even if you don't like the guy. Like, someone just got murdered in front of you. I feel like the direction for that could have been a little bit better. It's giving that whole, henchman is expendable type of vibe that I'm getting from here, direction wise, like from the director. So I feel like they could have actually spent a little bit more time letting this person react to the fact that one of the guards have died, or at least the fact he witnessed the murder. That's all. That's just a small thing. Let's get back in. But the fight scene so far has been amazing. I'm still having fun regardless. I'm still having a lot of fun. Let's go. Oh! The way she stood up, I don't think I've ever seen that in any movie. The camera work, the fact that I don't think I've ever seen that ever used in any movie ever. That right there, that's good cinematography. I enjoyed watching all of that. And we're just one fight into it. Okay, let's do it. Ah! Oh!
You think you're gonna make it all the way to the bottom?
I'll see you there.
The spin kick! Nice little detail there. Now look at her right wrist and you see that it's clean, right? Look at the left wrist, it's all kinds of messed up because she has been getting it yanked on consistently about when fighting that dude. So what this shows to me is that the director actually cares about lasting effects on the protagonist. Is the fact that they're not the fact that, oh, this person isn't invincible because they have plot armor or they're protagonist, but the fact that there are lasting effects to doing a lot of stunts. Usually when an action hero does a lot of stunts, there's minimal damage. I remember in Mission Impossible Fallout, I think Tom Cruise, Ethan Hunt, crashed on a motorcycle and rolled across the ground. Now, that was basically protagonist syndrome, where he basically flew off his motorcycle, rolled a few feet, and then got back up and started. No, you just don't get up from a motorcycle crash. There are lasting effects to doing stuff like that. Which is funny because the same example I can use is in that same movie. He was jumping across rooftops and he hit his shin on the building, and then he was actually limping after he did that, which was an actual injury he sustained in real life while filming that scene of him running and jumping across rooftops. There are lasting effects to doing these crazy stunts, and so I do like the fact that they do use this with the protagonist here. It's nothing but good cinema so far, and I absolutely love this.
I hoped it wouldn't come to this.
I don't believe that for a moment. Julius, if your father...
My father?
My father? Your father was a diplomat.
You two were cut from the same cloth.
Weak.
Pathetic. Pacifiers, placaters.
We trusted you.
You talk to me about trust.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to smile, but homegirl's in the back like, she being his hype man. I just think that's kind of adorable, even though these guys are the villains.
Well, my little princess, I will marry your sister because
I always get what I want.
Oh, dude, what the fuck did he do?
Listen and obey. Like a child should.
No. We shouldn't be surprised that this so-called king abides the bad behavior of his daughters.
This is all my fault.
You are old enough now to understand. This kingdom, it has no heir. You will find it in yourself to do your duty.
That shit looks like a bottle cap.
I'm sorry.
hang on, I'll take a piece.
Oh.
You should be locked up with the others.
Well, that usually works.
Oh.
Someone needs to teach you your place.
I've heard that before.
Let's fucking go, baby. So fucking good.
I want to be a great warrior, like you were, Lynn.
A true warrior is defined not by how she fights, but by what she is fighting for.
Okay, I'm starting to get flashbacks from when I first saw the movie. Okay, what does this remind you of? Just think for a second. Who do those two characters remind you of? Girl, red hair, wants to be a fighter, doesn't really want to do the marriage thing. And then the Asian character that specializes in weaponry and independence.
To the top of the tower. Check on the princess. Yes! Up there! Go!
Looking at the cinematography, I like the fact that the camera is behind this loom. I think it's what they're called, that they use to, I think, make like cloths and things like that, and tapestry. I could be wrong about that, but I like the fact that they're slowly panning from behind those, and is showing off how the princess threw the loom here. Another small detail that I do enjoy is the fact that she has been through a lot. She just got out of a fight and was choked on multiple occasions. You can see she's not just moving fast, right? She is taking a rest. She is tired. She is exhausted. I'm liking this consistent theme. Like I said, you can get into a fight, right? You've seen boxing matches. You have to realize those guys still breathe heavy after the last bell rings and the winner is decided. They're still tired. They're still hurt. So I like the fact that that's showing here. And she's just exhausted. I love. Okay, let me stop. Let's continue.
Come on. Must be some bounty in here.
Oh.
I can't believe this stopped me. Oh, I like a girl in lace.
What has Julius done with my family?
Fuck off! Do you even know how to use this thing?
What's your language? You're in the presence of a princess. Where are they?
I'm not telling you anything, you bitch!
Don't make me ask again.
You're never getting out of here alive! You can't!
I warned you about that mouth.
Okay. There's a lot to unpack here. All right. The way the themes of this movie is going, right? Julius, the main bad guy of the entire movie. He's, villain, right? This gives me Disney vibes if I've ever seen it. Like, imagine like an over-the-top, comic book, like I said, Disney villain. That's who Julius is. He's not some character with redeeming qualities. He's not a character that has like that as things below the surface. He is a villain in the general sense, and I like the fact that they did that with Julius's character. Here, we're adding in the slapstick kind of comedy with the crossbow above the head thing, and the way the sound effects actually work. It reminds me, if you can use some of these themes in terms of Julius's personality and some of the slapstick comedy that we saw here. You can use some of those in a Disney movie that's rated G for everyone, and it would still work. And they're adding some of those elements into a rated R movie to give that Disney feel, you know what I mean? I know Disney isn't really the only movie that makes, princess movies, but that's the main one everyone can relate to. So the fact that they're able to take some of these elements and actually incorporate those, because sometimes when people do rated R movies, the first thing they want to do is make a movie dark, right? And by making it dark, a lot of blood, a lot of cursing, a lot of murder, a lot of darker themes that I'd rather not talk about. Those are the things that they usually add. This movie understands what it is, and it uses the rated R not to overdo some of the more adult themes, but by making these fight scenes have some kind of weight to them. Because in a PG movie, this wouldn't work. And the fact that there is murder, blood, you need those things when you get into a fight with somebody. Broken bones, even curse words. They add to the nature of people's lives being in danger as they're getting into these fights. And here is no different. So they're using it because this couldn't be rated PG if they wanted to get their point across of how serious these fights are and how serious these themes are, right? Again, but they're still using that Disney feel, that undertone, to make it still like a Disney-esque type of movie. Again, there's a lot more I want to talk about, but we're going to get a little bit further into the movie so I can actually talk about those other themes. This movie knows what the fuck it's doing, and I love it. Okay. All right. No. No. Nope. Okay. Nope. Nope. This right here. This is what I wanted to talk about right here. Come on. Who do these two remind you of? If you didn't know before, I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. This is Meredith from Brave and Mulan from Mulan. I swear to God, this is the best non-Disney crossover I have ever watched in my entire life. Look at this shit. Look at this.
Where's your center? No focus, no speed. Again. What did I tell you? You're not fighting from your heart. Try it again.
Oh! 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 The guy's big, so he's gonna knock her across the room. I see. I like how that happened. Oh! 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 And there's still more people coming. This fucking movie! Oh my God! Okay. I'm gonna take a breather. Hold on a sec. Oh my God. There's just... Bro, whoever says this movie isn't goated is a fucking liar. There's no way you guys can tell me that this movie isn't good. There's no way. The fight choreography is so... The way that she was able to take that man 8 stories down, land on his spine, and roll off his body and use them as a cushion. As a cushion. The fact that the guy had the rope wrapped around his leg, dislocated it, and was still a reoccurring character throughout this tower fight. A reoccurring character. The fact that they're able to use a man's size, a really big dude with the beard, with the hammer, to use his size when she's on the ground with the shield, and how he hit the shield and she went sliding across the ground. Everything has weight and impact. She just didn't, look up and he smashed it right down and she blocked it and then turned around. No. She used it, and then she used the momentum and it slid her across the... bro, this fucking movie is goated. Now, oh god, I wish I could add more to this, but this movie kind of speaks for itself so far. I like the fact that there are those underlying parts of humor in this as well, and it's not centered around telling jokes. It's around characters trying their best, but also kind of being a little over the top, right? Like, it's not a farce, but these characters are over the top. It reminds me, as I've said before, like a Disney movie. The villains are usually, or at least the henchmen as well, the villains and the henchmen are usually really over the top with their villainy and with their side dialogue as henchmen. And we are getting that here, where every henchman, they are expendable, but they do have that over the top personality, and it keeps me smiling. It's like I'm watching an adult Disney movie, and not one written by somebody who wants to add in adult themes. You know what I mean? All you need is good writing. You know what I mean? And that does not include cursing, over the top cursing. That does not include over the top blood. That does not include over the top gore. That does not include the really heavy themes. I'd rather not say those heavy themes, but you know which heavy themes I'm talking about. There's more than one, but you don't need those themes in order to make something rated R. You don't need those things to make it adult. You need to make sure that whatever story you're trying to tell, if there is impact to something, if you really want to show impact to what is being done, you have to add in the more mature themes there, basically. There's a difference between being mature and being an adult. When you're mature, you're able to understand the underlying issues behind certain situations. You're able to understand things on multiple levels. Maturity is a state of mind. A child can be mature, and I've seen a lot of mature children. But when it comes to being an adult, that centers around being able to do certain things. It's an age thing. But just because you are adult does not mean that you are mature. This is a mature movie, not an adult movie. Yes, it has cursing, blood, violence, gore, things like that. But they're not overdoing it in a way that if I were to show my children, they would be completely scarred by seeing things they weren't supposed to see. These are just things that happen in everyday life. Children see blood, children hear cursing, those things like that. And they do have more themes throughout the movie that I feel like kids could relate to. But this is not adult, to whereas there are themes that could scar, themes that I wouldn't want my children being exposed to. Like nudity is one of those adult themes. Again, this movie doesn't need nudity to be rated R. We have other things. We have a story to tell. And just because we have that rating does not mean we're going to go all the way off. That's immature. When you're purposely trying your best to make something adult, you're being immature. When you're trying your best to tell a story within the confines of logic, that's where maturity comes into place. I'm not trying to say that those adult themes aren't mature. There's ways to tell stories with those themes. But when it comes to some directors, when they do some action movies or drama movies, romance movies, things like that, they overdo the adult themes because they have the okay to do so. And that's my issue with most movies. As you can see, I only have like one other movie review on my channel. And that's specifically because of the fact I don't really like movies like that. I don't really like movies at all, really. There's only a few movies that I actually just really sit down and enjoy because they do their themes very, very right within what they're trying to do. And this is one of those very few occasions where so far, rewatching this movie, it has been an entire blast to watch. And I am completely entranced, so much so that I have yet to pause and really do a lot of talking. And so that's how like into this movie that I am. And it is non-stop action. Look, I have seen a lot of movies. I have. And that's coming from someone who doesn't really like movies. And it's because of the fact that I've seen so many bland movies over the time. I just feel less inclined to watch them. This is someone that's coming from John Wick. This is someone that's coming from Kingsman. This is someone who's coming from The Incredible Hulk, who's coming from some of the best Marvel movies ever made, some of the best DC movies ever made, and that includes the animated ones too. This movie is something special when it comes to choreography. Special. There has not been choreography like this in any of the movies and stuff that I've seen up to this level, and it's in a way that it flows with the story. Like again, her main thing right, is getting away from these guys and making it to the bottom of the tower. That's her main mission, right? And they are doing that very well here. The motivation for her, not wanting to get married, not wanting to get recaptured, using her skills that she's learned over the course of I don't know how many years, it's all paying off here. And they're not overdoing the flashbacks. They're not giving you the story in the very beginning, making it start off slow. They're giving you backstory to why she's able to do the things she's able to do. She's not just some, what people say, Mary Sue. That's not what she is. She's earned her way to get this good. And that's how everyone should be. There's a lot of male characters out there in media that don't earn their way to here. They're just good at what they do. When it comes to movies like John Wick, he's one of those characters who's earned his way. He's an assassin. He has a backstory. He's not just good at things because he's good. He's good at things because he's had years of experience. She's had years of experience. And so she's able to use those years of experience against these assholes. And that's why I'm rooting for her so much, is because I know she's had to fight her way to this point. Is she an interesting character? Kinda. But goddamn, she is an interesting character to watch. And that's why I'm so entranced with this movie. Let's continue.
I barely met him since she was a girl.
I understand this does not sit well with you, but this decision has to be made strategically. We have no son. No heir. We should arrange the wedding as quickly as we can. What else can we do?
I have a solution.
What is this?
I know of your plans for me, and I beg of you, let me train as a knight instead.
I'm afraid you have me to blame for this.
You condone this? I never wish to see you this way again.
Father, if you would just let me show you.
Enough! You are old enough now to understand. This kingdom has no heir. We are all vulnerable, every last one of us, until a successor is in place.
But I can be the successor.
You're my child. You did not honestly think that I would send you off to die, or worse, at the hands of some barbarian.
Oh, you'll sell me into the bedroom of a man I barely know.
He is an honorable lord of good family.
I'm not a piece of property to be traded.
I credited you with more maturity than I should have. Now I see that you were just an impetuous girl who only thinks about herself. This kingdom is relying on you. You will find it in yourself to do your duty.
And now we talk about the themes of what she's now going through. See, I just said before she wasn't an interesting character because we haven't really had much backstory on her. We've only seen her fight. We've seen her resilience. We've seen her, you know what I mean? But we've never seen her personality. We're seeing a little bit more of it here. It's not the fact that she's rebellious. That's not the problem. See, people think that in order to make a strong female character, she also needs to be rebellious against cultural norms. She's not really rebellious. She's thinking about herself and her future. And my future with somebody. It's not the fact that I don't want to be married at all. That's not what she's saying. It's not the fact that I don't want to be with a man at all. That's not what she said. She's not going against cultural norms. She's thinking about herself and her future, which is the most mature thing anyone could ever do. Some people just go based on tradition. Some people go based on religion. Some people go based on the ideas they were grown up with through their family. She's thinking about her future and her happiness. And it's not the fact, again, I have to reiterate this. She's not talking about rebelling against cultural norms for the sake of rebelling against cultural norms. She's saying that I want to be happy. Her problem isn't with the men. Her problem, or with the marriage and how that works. Her problem is, I do not know this person. I do not want to be with this person. I want to do other things with my life. That is mature. That is a character I can get behind. Again, people get rebellious women and mature women mixed together because sometimes the two can be interchangeable if you put it in the same light with each other. It kind of looks the same. Here, she's not one of those kind of characters. She's fought her way to learn how to fight. She doesn't want to get married to some. You've seen the guy. The guy's fucking weird. And the most important thing she can think about is, what do I want? And should I not get a say in what's going on? Because that's very important to anyone. No one wants to be forced to do something they don't want to do. But there are those who would force themselves to enjoy something if it means being okay with her traditional norms and being accepted by a community. And the mature part of each person's being is not wanting to be accepted by a community based around their ideas, but being accepted by a community based around your ideas. And so that is who she is. There is a difference. You agree with somebody because they have a community behind them. You agree with a group of people because they are a community. You agree with someone because of the fact that there's a group of people who will accept your ideas. Again, that's one side. That's the side that I don't align with. I instead have my own ideas. Personally, we're talking personally, Jasper, me. I have my own ideas, and I will grow a community around that, or I will be accepted by a community based around my ideas. I don't want to agree with people. I want people to agree with me. And if people do not agree with me, let that be their business, but I'm going to do my own thing. That's her personality, and now that's why I'm entranced with the character. She has now shown who she is as an individual, and that is, I'm an individual who's looking for my own happiness, not because of cultural norms or wanting to rebel against cultural norms. That shit doesn't matter to me. What matters is myself. What matters is what I want. I'm not rebellious for the sake of being rebellious. I am who I am, and I know what I want, and this is not it. There are three kinds of people in this world. There are people who go with trends. There are people who go against trends because they're trends and they think they're special because of it. And there are people who actually look at the trend, see if it's something that they're interested in personally, and makes their decision from there. Be that third one. Always. Be that third individual. Always look at the trend first. See if you like it, and then move the fuck on with your life. Because you might like it, you might not, but see if it aligns with your own personality, and then go on about whatever, however you want to. That is the most important thing you can do with yourself, and that's what she is doing here. God, I love this character. And it is only just one scene. Again, a lot of people can spin this as in she's sexist, she's doesn't like men. That's not what she said. She has her own wants, needs, dislikes, and likes. And the reason why she doesn't want to do this, which she said straight up, I don't want to lay in a bed with a man I barely know. That's fair. And she feels like a piece of property because I'm basically being sold off for peace to a location and with a person I don't even want to be with. When there could be other ways of getting around it, and you just don't want to take that because you're so stuck in your traditional ways. This movie is fucking bomb. And I absolutely love it. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Princess.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you doing here? I was making my way to you. I'm glad you're here. I have something for these wounds. Come. What happened, Lynn?
He came in the night. No one was prepared.
The king's guards were overrun. Jewelers show no mercy. I managed to escape and hide, but was one of the few. He was ruthless. It's all my fault.
Princess, that kind of thinking right now won't help.
I'll have to save them, Lynn.
We will. They're in the keep. There's only one unguarded way in.
We need to find a way to the sewers.
But we have to pass through the kitchen. Okay?
He ain't gonna hurt you.
Hey! Where's my supper? What's happened to the cook? Who are you?
I'm the princess. And that's Lynn.
I'm getting Tangled vibes. I'm getting Tangled
Nice to
vibes
meet
too.
you. Are you alright?
Let's do it! Let's do it! Come on! Let's do it!
Sir. Sweet little princess.
It's her stance.
You hungry, love?
Oh! Cutting up the fish, it's so good. Ooh.
We have to leave now before it's too late. Lynn, no. Princess, trust me. Go now. Go.
Don't leave Mulan by herself. Man, ever jump into the pool and inhale at the wrong time and now you have like water lung? Yeah. Yeah. Me too. Oh! Barehanded? Oh, the throat! Oh! Oh! Oh, he dodged it. Oh, this is so good. Some of the slapstick is still there. I love it. I love it. Just be careful, Meredith. I know her name isn't Meredith. I know. But goddamn. Be careful, Meredith.
Come.
That scared me. I closed my eyes. Okay, Lynn's not dead. That's good. Okay.
Look at the mess you've made. Not exactly the ladylike behavior I'd expect of you. But that will change.
Leave my sister alone!
Like I said, she was looking out for her happiness, the princess. She was looking for her, and she knew this guy wasn't good for her. This man just used his entire hand to send a message of how the rest of the marriage is going to go. And so did she. If they do get married. Wow. Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
What on earth happened to make you end up this way?
I was born this way.
You were born to be my wife.
I look forward to it.
Oh, you do?
At your side. Every day. At your service every night. It's like something out of a fairy tale. For me.
And for me.
A nightmare. You'll learn to sleep with one eye open. To never turn your back. I'll be in heaven. Just thinking day and night of ways to kill you. And you'll be in hell. Wondering when it's coming. And you know that it will be coming. Because you know that I'll never rest. Never idle, never stop. Until I'm standing above your corpse, holding in my delicate, manicured hands your still beating heart.
Well, it seems the princess is still unwilling. If only there were another option.
There are ways to make a villain in a rated R space, and he's gotta by far be the worst just from that alone. Well, we went there. Let's let's continue, I guess. Let's continue.
Kill the princess.
No!
Julius, please!
Oh, headbutt. Her knees, because she's been sitting on them in the courtroom. Oh, that's such a good attention to detail, and that like the little
Always
things around her
remember,
neck.
princess, the real power is not from your blade, but from your heart.
What is this?
I am strong. I can fight.
You're my child. I never wish to see you this way again.
When I slit the king's throat,
I'll have to save them, Lynn.
Julius, you wouldn't. Wouldn't I?
It seems so childish now. Me telling you that I wanted to be a warrior. If I had just done my duty.
No, princess, no. Julius would be the same monster no matter what you did.
There was an episode of Batman the Animated Series where Batman was put on the stand because all the villains there were complaining about, okay, I am this villain. Batman beat me up. He made me mad. I am the way that I am because of Batman. If Batman didn't exist, we wouldn't exist. And after a lawyer heard all of their pleas about their problems with, the Batman and how he's been treating them, she came to the conclusion of, you guys are all a bunch of morons. You guys are all monsters. Batman is just an excuse for your actions. You guys would have been like this no matter if he would have been here or not. The same thing here. I know a lot of people in even relationships and stuff is basically saying like, no, dude, she's it's my fault, dude. Or the reason why my girlfriend or boyfriend is very abusive or angry or pissed off at me all the time is because I'm the one that's doing this. I do things to upset them. I do things. No. It's not your fault. Again, everyone wants to say that it's their fault that they're being treated that way because at one point that person wasn't like that. Or it's always been that way because the person that's been abusive has always been the person to say, if you wouldn't have done this, I wouldn't have been abusive. Yeah, no. Shitty people are going to be shitty regardless. It doesn't take one individual trying their best to be the best, to be who they are, for someone to be an asshole. No, you got to be an asshole before the fact. And it's just the fact that someone's showing their true colors when the situation gets out of their control or when they're inconvenienced in any way, shape, or form. This is a very strong line. And when it comes to this movie, it's showing so many more different themes than just action. It has good action, don't get me wrong. The action is top notch, second to none, right? But the other side is there's so many themes here that we could all learn from, right? When there are shitty people, they're shitty people whether you would have been there or not. When there are crazy individuals, psychopathic individuals, violent individuals, you are not the reason why they are doing what they're doing. They would have done that regardless. And the fact that you would ever think that it was the victim's fault for ever being in a situation like her. She's the victim to the situation of the marriage, and she feels like it's her fault that all the shit's happening, and it's not. If it wouldn't have been this princess, it would have been another fucking princess. She is the one that just said no. Right? And let's just say for our purposes, they did get married and she did do her duty. The moment she says no to anything is the moment he does that open hand slap. This is just who this motherfucker is. She's not unlocking some asshole nature that was deep rooted within this individual. He's always been this way. A lot of people can learn from this. A lot of people can. Again, that's why I don't really like arts movies, man. Artsy movies. They put too many things on the nose so dumb people can understand it, rather than trying to just tell a story and have these lines weaved into the plot alongside having a lot of different. This is why I like superhero shit. This is why I love fantasy. This is why I love sci-fi. They do have these existential themes that we could use in real life. It's just people would rather go to art movies in order to get those things about real life because, oh my god, it's so adult because they have all these very uncomfortable themes in the movie. So I feel like I'm a part of something huge. No, you don't need those very uncomfortable themes, adult themes, to get your fucking point across about how people should view how they live and how they should view how characters are and if they should replicate that in their lives. Let them be the judge of that. This is one of those movies that does that without having to tell you over and over and over again, hey, this is how it should be. This is how it should be. This is the theme. This is the theme. This is the theme. They don't do that. They take what's ever going on, weave it into the plot, and keeps the story going. This is weaved into the plot. This isn't a main point of the story. They didn't talk about the fact that Judas was an asshole since the very fucking beginning. That wasn't a conversation. Instead, they're saying now, since she's having second thoughts about being who she is, I don't think I like myself. Because if I wasn't me, this wouldn't have happened. No. He would have been like this regardless. You're just a princess that said no. There's nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with him. God, I love this movie. Ah! Love this fucking movie.
She refuses death time and time again.
Not for much longer.
I've seen him look down her shirt. I'd do it too.
Your parents wept the day you were born. I was there. They were so upset that you weren't a man.
But I heard yours wept for the same reason.
Bro, I love this. Jesus Christ!
Here she is. Your pretty princess. Kneeling before the new king. A reminder to you all that I won't be belittled. I won't be forsaken. In this weak and feeble kingdom, that power is required on the throne.
I know that hurts to do. Ah.
Henceforth, the daughters of this kingdom make their own fate, just as my daughter has done today. I have never been more proud. We are all of us in your debt. I was wrong. I should have trusted you. Forgive me. Now rise.
There she is!
So that was The Princess. So far from all of my recent memories of watching this movie, it is still the masterpiece it was when I first watched it. This movie got overlooked by a lot of different people, and I understand why it did. It's a Hulu exclusive. Not many people want to watch movies like this, but this movie is something truly special that skated under everyone's radar. This is going in my top movies of all time because there's not another movie that's even similar to this that has given me these kind of feelings. Now, I'm sure everyone has their own little personal, like, oh, it's just like, not for me. I haven't seen those movies yet. Like I said, me personally, I don't watch a lot of movies, mainly because all of them start to blend together after a while. I will give movies a try if they seem interesting. Like I said, one of the more interesting movies to me was Everything Everywhere All at Once. That movie seems interesting to me, so I'm going to give that a shot at some point. But knowing how many movies I've watched in the past and knowing how the action movie industry, the romance industry, the comedy industry has been going, it all feels churned through an entire machine, and it just kind of blends together. This is something special. This is what I would go to the movie to go see. This right here is true cinema, where you try your best to put your best foot forward on everything that you try to do. They didn't miss a fucking step with this movie, and it did such a great job. In my opinion, if I could put this into words, this is the best non-Disney live-action adult crossover movie I have ever seen in my entire life, and there's never going to be another movie like this. And that's exactly why I am going to give this movie, personally for me, a 5 out of 5 stars. There's not going to be another movie like this. There are going to be movies that are going to be similar, but not this one. The amount of action, the amount of detail, the character, the motivation, the way that they're able to know how to write a female character without making the stereotypical strong female character by giving her likes, wants, dislikes, and a personality and viewpoints that are outside of cultural norms, not for the sake of being outside of cultural norms, but because she actually wants them. Movies like this don't exist anymore. They don't. And when people try to do female characters, they go all the way off fucking this way with the character, and it becomes offensive, in my opinion. Or they do it the other way, and they go into the background and they're not that important of a character, but you do reference them because we care about females. For the casual review, I'm going to have to give it a 3 out of 5 stars, though. Specifically because of the fact that this wasn't well received by a lot of people. I can see a lot of people having issues with the movie. I don't see where you would have those issues because I absolutely like this. But if it's one thing I've noticed about my life is when I like something because it is special, it's because of the fact that it is special and abnormal that other people don't seem to really understand. It's hard to get underlying messages when it's not put in on the forefront for you. And a lot of people, when they do movie reviews, they don't talk about those underlying issues because even they miss them themselves. Am I catching every underlying message about this movie? No. Who's to say this movie didn't have any underlying messages to begin with? But there are so many things that resonated with me with this movie that has shown me this is what cinema is supposed to be. I had, once again, an absolute blast watching this movie from start to finish. I recommend you guys go out and see this movie yourself. Please. It is such a good movie. If you don't have Hulu, get it on DVD Blu-ray. Please watch this movie. This is a female empowerment movie without it talking about being a female empowerment movie. This is how it's supposed to be. From the Powerpuff Girls to the Carmen Sandiegos to the Wonder Womans. This is how you do a female protagonist without specifically going off the rails and making them so much like a male character that they're a male fucking character, which defeats the purpose of them being a fucking female, or being so much of a female that they're fucking sexist and they don't like dudes. They didn't go that direction, and they didn't go the other direction. They made a princess movie centered around a female who has her own likes and dislikes, and I absolutely loved it. Forgive me if I sound just a little bit upset, but when it comes to movies like these, people always miss the mark about what movies like this are supposed to be. She is standing on her own 2 feet, and people are going to take that as something completely different. There are movies out there who use the whole "I hate men, men suck" aspect. They do that. I hate those fucking movies, because if you have to lean on hating men to make your character a character, that's not a character I can get behind. I don't want a sexist female in media. You can hate whoever you want to hate. I don't have to like it though. I don't have to, and I just won't. And then there's the other side, where you make a character so like a man, or so masculine, or so less feminine, because you want them to be on equal playing fields, that you forget the fact that they are a woman, and you need to put those into perspective. When she's fighting in this movie, she's not having man-like strength. She is actually using the weight of their enemies against them. She's using her femininity, her nimbleness, her agility against her enemies, because she is a woman. That's what's empowering about it. That's the empowering part about it. And the fact that she is existing outside of cultural norms. She doesn't need a cultural norm to make her decisions. She made those decisions on her own because that's what makes her happy. Woo! Rant over. God damn. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing this stuff all the time. I appreciate you guys coming out and actually watching the video with me. I appreciate it. All the love and support means the world to me. You guys have a good rest of your day or night, depending on which side of the world you guys are on.